welcome again to the Stogie 411 show with my guest today, Christine Morgan, and I don't know, 8-man over there.
I like my guest.
Did you like that? That was pretty good, huh?
I actually did like that. Hello to everybody in the chat room. Thanks for joining us. And you should have been here in the pre-show. You missed out all the fun and all the secrets, but maybe we can get Christine to tell us some more secrets. So anyways, this is our take on the IPCPR show. Christine was down there, and she was nice enough to come on the show and tell us a little bit or a lot of bit about the new cigars coming out and what she smoked, what she thought of it, and we're going to go from there. So, Christine, thanks for coming on. We know you've been busy today. You were on Kiss My Ash Radio earlier today.
Yes.
Yes. How did that go?
It went well. Very well.
Good. And most of you may not know, but you should know because you should be over there following her blog. And she's been sick, but she is here drinking and smoking, so she's fighting on. So let's get on with it. Christine, tell us, why don't you tell us, was this your first time? How many times you've been to IPCPR? And tell us what you thought of it and how you were there, and we'll go from there into the cigars.
It was my third year, actually. My first year in New Orleans. I've done New Orleans, Vegas, and now Orlando. Woo, Orlando. This year I decided to drive down. Last couple of years I flew. But it was like, it started off great. It was a 12-and-a-half-hour drive. Kicked it off with like 7 cigars by the time I got to Orlando. Came down a day early so I could go spend some time down at Corona's and hang out with some other people that arrived a little bit early. So, I mean, that part, just the getting there, was an adventure on its own. Smoking 7 cigars. Honestly, I thought I'd smoke more in a 12-and-a-half-hour drive, but I had a great co-pilot, Lawrence, or LOD on Twitter. He was cutting my cigars and toasting them for me. I felt a little bit spoiled. I know when I came back and I had to cut and toast my first cigar, I didn't know what I was doing.
That's a damn shame. Look at that, LOD. You're getting shouts out, brother, today. Shouts out.
Oh, he was the best co-pilot ever.
Now you spoiled her, and her ass doesn't want to do anything herself now. Nice
Doing
going.
my domestic
like
duties,
a typical.
he says.
I love Lawrence.
So, Christine, tell everybody, because I'm kind of flabbergasted by the amount of cigars that you smoked at IPCPR. So tell everybody the quantity.
73.
73, and now no wonder why you're sick, right?
I know. I haven't been able to taste anything for a week. 2 weeks. Actually, it's 2 weeks.
You should go get one of those McGangbangs. You'll be able to taste after one of those.
I doubt it.
I'm just saying. Yeah. You should try.
Let's start off here. John G has a question already in the chat. So, yeah.
Jeez, what's he want? His question answered from the pre-show?
Now, he says, he quoted a book here, so. Of your top 10 cigars you did smoke at the show, all of them, question mark, which impressed you the most? Of the ones you didn't smoke, are there any which you are looking forward to the most? See, I did read your blog.
Oh.
Bazinga.
Wow. Well, thank you. And I know he just went and had to go rush and do it just now. During the pre-show. That's why he got quiet all of a sudden during the pre-show. No, I love, my favorite that I smoked out of everything was the La Aurora Preferidos Diamond, which Barry Stein actually gave that to me at Corona's the day before the actual show, and I was just so impressed with that cigar. It was incredible. I was sitting there smoking it, my eyes were rolling in the back of my head because it was just, it was amazing.
Orgasmic.
I loved it.
It was orgasmic. That's the word.
Actually, I told Barry, I was like, the only way that cigar could get any better is if you made the tube that it came in battery operated.
Oh.
There goes our show.
Multi-purpose. It's not just the cigar.
Right.
What would you use that for?
I hope my head is not fucking. I don't know. A back massager.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. Gotcha.
Well, if you guys haven't realized already, it's going to be one of those shows today. So did she
never answered.
Christine, did you answer the second part?
No, I didn't. Actually,
Come on.
The one I have not smoked that I would really like to smoke was the La Dueña. So I actually didn't even get any of those. I was busy, man. I was running. Well, I didn't get to the show any day till about noon. So.
So tell people why you were busy.
Because I was up till like 4 o'clock in the morning. I drove, so and I don't really drink anyway. So I was like, you know what? Any of you drunken fools that need to drive, a ride back to your hotel instead of spending, money on a cab, just give me a holler. I'll give you a ride. You'll get there safely and cheaply. So I didn't ever get home till like 4 o'clock in the morning, or at home back to the hotel till 4 o'clock in the morning every night.
Man,
Nice.
you could have came up with something
So
better
then
than
I'd
that.
wake-
Come on. Don't get back till 4 in the morning. Come on. Make it exciting.
Well, there was one night we actually went outside. It was funny because, Corona's hosted a lot of the events, all the parties afterwards, like Miami and the QNK Blanco event, which that cigar is fantastic. That's one of my favorites too. That one was out there at Corona. There was, Jonathan Drew had one out there as well. So everything was out there till like 2 in the morning. Then, the first night, Friday night, I wound up taking a bunch of guys from LaFleur back to their hotel at the Hilton. And I pull up to the Hilton, and there's like 200 people outside in front of the front door of the Hilton smoking cigars. I mean, so I was out there till like 4 in the morning.
Nice.
They shut that place down out there. I think there were some people out there till the sun
I
came
like
up.
the hand gestures. I drove people to the Hilton. Did you notice that? That was pretty cool.
Everybody asks me if I'm Italian because I talk with my hands. I have no Italian in me.
Okay.
Now, yeah, and you mentioned the cigar, and I never knew the pronunciation, actually. Jose, the Blanco. I'm not going to try the first one, but that's one I am most interested in trying.
Oh my god.
So tell us a little bit. Did you smoke it, Christine? And what were your thoughts on it?
Oh, it was absolutely fantastic. It has a Habano wrapper, which I love. I'm a big fan of a Habano wrapper. It was just the first one that I actually tried was at that event. Of course they were handing those out. Wound up with a couple extra. I smoked them all already. They're all gone. I love them. That's one of the purchases that I'm looking forward to the most after the show. Like, can't wait to get my hands on a box of those.
Yeah.
It was just, it was fuller bodied. It was it was complex. Had a wonderful, wonderful notes to it. Had some spice, woody notes, leathery notes. It was just, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Of course, Jose is the man.
Jose is the man. I have one to try myself, and I know that anybody who's listening, I know that Bonito Smoke Shop just got them in. So if you're interested in trying them, give Jackie a buzz, and I know she would be more than happy to ship them to you.
Wait a minute here. On that note, with Jackie, everybody who's listening to the show right now, tweet Jackie, call Jackie, do something with Jackie, and tell her you would love to see her on the Stogie 411 show.
Yes. Yes. We are trying to get
being a
her
little
on. She's
camera
tough.
shy, and I think we need to push her
Yeah.
a little bit. So, go ahead. Sorry.
Because I've been your only woman on the show, correct? And I've been on here twice. That's sad.
No.
You have been the no, Nada.
Oh, that's right. Nada.
Nada was
Forgot.
on the show too.
She's such a sweetheart. I got to meet. We'll see her and Jeff again at the show. Also.
Well,
LOD.
Christine, talk. I'm smoking. Oh, go ahead,
LOD
Mike.
brought up in the chat now. Another one I am curious about is the Willie Herrera's cigar. This is the first cigar that's under actually his name. He's. Go ahead. Sorry.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead.
Did we touch on a nerve?
No, of course he had to bring that one up because I didn't get to smoke that one at the show.
Oh.
And we were talking about that the other night. I was up with Lawrence out at Chesapeake Cigars down the road from me, and he was like, "Hey, you get to smoke that?" No, dude, I didn't get to smoke that one. He had to rub that in a little bit. Thank you. Add some more salt to the wound, Lawrence.
He did too. He did rub it in, but well, let's talk about, since you didn't try that. I'm smoking the new Perdomo Bugatti. Probably can't see it. I'm smoking the Connecticut. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Did you get to smoke that one?
I think, you know what? After I have it in my little stash actually.
Mm-hmm.
it's funny because I really didn't get a lot of cigars at the trade show until the last day. I spent my first couple of days hanging out with the guys from Your Cigar News.
Yep.
Which they have a great thing going on. They have some more great stuff coming up, actually.
I wonder why.
I'm actually joining on with Your Cigar News. But I talked to those guys a lot on Twitter. They were one of the people that I was looking forward to meeting the most face-to-face once I got there. Of course, I met Irv up at the event at Buttheads that I did in June with Jose Blanco. And, but I got to meet Frankie and Wes and Jeff and Tim. And, I hung out with them a lot of the time. So I kind of walked around the floor with them and introduced them to some of the people that I knew. Mm-hmm. So I didn't get to collect a lot of cigars until my last day. And my last day, I actually got there when the show opened for once. I didn't really get much sleep that night, but it was only like 4 hours.
Yep.
So the floor was going to be open. So went ahead and woke up early for that. And that's when I ran around and collected all my cigars. That's when I got the Perdomo, a bunch of crap from Altadis.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Gotta have a cold.
Yeah, so you haven't tried it. Well, I'll tell you, I'm smoking it right now, and it's very mild. It's really smooth, creamy. To me, it's a great morning stick. If you're a mild guy or a newbie or someone like Mikey over there, this would be right up your alley. So, but it's nice. It's smooth, creamy. It's enjoyable. It's it's not complex at all, but it's definitely a nice stick. So. Well, tell us about some. Actually, did we get into the cigar you're smoking, Mike?
No, you just ignored me.
I don't know if everybody knows.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Well, that's normally how it is on the show.
Yes.
Well, usually he doesn't smoke anything that actually has to do with what you're talking about.
Right. So Mike's showing everybody what he's
John
smoking.
Huber, I feel so bad.
Which Christine didn't get to see.
I saw.
No, that.
So Christine, tell us a little bit about that cigar. Did you get to smoke that? What were your thoughts?
La Aurora. It's the Fernando Leon. For everybody who was wondering.
I did, and I was gonna put that in my top 10, but I already had 2 cigars from Miami, so I didn't want to look like a kiss ass. Because thankfully I was able to go to the show because of Miami cigars. I was very, very, very lucky as far as as that was concerned. But that one was in, I'd say, my top 15. I just think it's great. It's like a medium, fuller body. I mean, it's a medium as far as strength, but it's fuller bodied. It has a lot of really nice complexities. It has a Corojo wrapper, Corojo binder, and it has 3 fillers. Fillers from 3 countries, I should say. It got a little bit of sweetness, earthiness to it. Little bit of spice. It's just, it had a little bit of everything. Mm-hmm. And I just really loved it. It had some great complexities to the cigar without being too strong.
Now, the only thing with this cigar I want to bring up, this was made for Guillermo's father. And from what I understand, mm-hmm. and I'm not sure about this, Barry kind of skirted the question with me a little bit, I think. But I wanted to find out, this cigar there was a blend made before, released by, who was it? I can't remember now. My mind just went blank.
By shit. What's that?
By shit.
Manufacturer?
Damn it. But it was the actual cigar that he smoked when he was still with us, when he was still alive. And I don't know if it's the same blend as that, or if Guillermo did something else to it, or what it is. But I'd like to find that out. It is a good stick. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I have one. I haven't tried it yet, but I plan on it.
And it's like an $8 stick, too. That's what the MSRP is. So, I mean, it's in a good range. I think it's a fantastic cigar for the price.
Yeah. Well, let's take John's got another question for you, Christine. He said, from the show, which are the best candidates for future blending?
What does he mean by future blending?
She said, John, what do you mean by that? You need to be a little more vague. She's kind of sick and got a buzz on right now. So you got to help her out a little bit more, John, and type it slower.
I'm not even in the chat.
I told you to get in the chat.
Hybrid.
For
your blending.
Oh, for my high? Okay. You know, that's so hard. I was so tempted to try to do one
That's
for
what
the
she
radio show today, but
Sorry.
wow. You know, y'all were so nice for my first show. Now we're, and you know, and I've been nice before the show. I was trying to like razz you on Twitter and stuff, and now this time I was being good, and now y'all are giving me a hard time.
Y'all.
Can't get the Oklahoma out.
You ain't in okay.
No, I'm in Baltimore. They say y'all around here more than Oklahoma.
Do they?
Yeah.
Well, you know.
As far, honestly, I want to smoke. I want to actually I want to mess with the Kilinki Blanco a little bit. I only do cigars that I love, and I absolutely love that cigar. And I want to the Daruma, the Room 101 Daruma that came out. Okay, because half of Room 101, half of their cigars have a Habano wrapper on it. Not a lot of people realize this. It's a great Habano wrapper, but I want to, wow, look at that. What are you drinking?
Murray, what are you doing, buddy?
I look up, he's just bottoms up with a bottle. I'm talking, he thinks nobody's going to notice.
What?
Everybody's looking at you. They aren't paying attention to me.
I was. Anyway. I want to put something besides the Habano wrapper on a Room 101.
Yeah.
That'll probably be one of my first ones.
Nice.
That I pick in. I'm thinking Rosado.
Well, why don't you tell us this, Christine, before we get into some more of the bigger known people at IPCPR. Why don't you tell us about a few of the littler people that some people may not know of, and what you thought of their cigars?
Well, there was I smoked the Terrazona 305. That was actually made my top 10 list. I freaking love that cigar. I got to chat with Eddie from Terrazona for a little bit there, and it has a Maduro wrapper. It's a Costa Rican Maduro, and it has Nicaraguan binder and filler. But it's that one. It was great. You had some chocolatey notes, some spice, some earthiness and leatheriness to it. Man, I honestly, I really can't say enough good things about that cigar. Mm-hmm. That was another one of my favorites from, I guess, the underdogs that you would say. Another one I got to smoke, which is more local, was Sentitos. And that was actually given to me by one of the guys that created the blend from that line. It has the 99 Corojo binder, 99 Corojo filler, wrapper, and I cannot remember what the filler is, Nicaraguan. Which that one was another good cigar that I actually wound up nubbing it. I already had a little blister on my finger from the Preparados Diamond. I almost made it worse on that one. I mean, I almost burned myself again. But it had some earthy notes, a little bit of nuttiness, had some cinnamon and pepper in the retrohale, which I love that combination. But that was another one that I really enjoyed.
Cool. LOD brought up Sentitos by Cigar Connection, Arlington, Virginia, made by Abe. Good old Abe Flores.
Yep. Yeah, it's just some good stuff out of there. If you can get your hands on one, I would definitely say that's one to try.
Now,
and the AKA, it's funny because AKA, everybody knows AKA, like Oklahoma, Texas, whatever. Jay Lundy, who is AKA, is from that area. He gets around there a lot more than over here. So I'm actually surprised you got that cigar, Mike. But I have always loved AKA. They have the Respect out. They have the Hybrid. They have the Solace, which the Solace has the Connecticut wrapper. And you think Connecticut, it's going to be a milder cigar, but it does have a nice little bit of spice to it. And a really nice complexity. That was another one that I enjoyed.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think sometimes, and even myself, been smoking over 20 years, I still sometimes look at a Connecticut and go, it's not going to have complexity, A. It's not going to have strength, B. But and you're right. There are Connecticut cigars out there that have those. So I agree with you. I make that mistake myself sometimes. But Foozer has a question for you, Christine. He wants to know how long you've been smoking cigars and how long to develop a palate. That's a tricky one. That second one.
7 years.
7 years for both, or 7 years for?
7. Well, you know what? Actually, honestly, my palate is still evolving. And what really took me to the next level, as far as doing that, is doing the hybrids that I did and taking the time to sit down and review cigars. Because I don't, if I were to review just the stuff that I like my daily smokes, it'd be fuller bodied, spicier cigars. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But I decided when I started my website, I was gonna play, towards everybody's palate. So that's when I started to do some milder cigars, medium-bodied cigars, things that I wouldn't normally put in my daily rotation. And because of that, sorry, there's a plane going over. I don't know if you can hear it.
As long as it stays up in the air, you're fine.
Right? I know, right? There's sometimes I wonder. This one was like really close, so I looked up. I could see the whole thing. It wasn't just like a blip in the sky. I need more beer, I think. I think that's the problem.
Mike told you to bring the 6-pack out before we started the show.
Tried to help.
I should just go in and get the rum.
You see, he came prepared. He's just drinking right out of the bottle.
I know, right? I should have done the same thing. I got like some vanilla cognac that might do the trick.
There you go. Helps with the cold.
But right, I was tempted last night to do a shot of tequila followed by a shot of NyQuil, but I didn't. That always helps. But anyway, what were we talking about before?
You wanted to know how long you're smoking, answer him, how long to develop a palate.
It's honestly, my palate's still evolving. I think I think everybody's like their traits, their palates are predisposed, but it's just a matter of bringing that out. And the more I smoke, the more I do these hybrids, the more I bring out little things that I notice. Because when I first started smoking cigars, it was spice and coffee. Those were the two things that always stuck out with my palate, first of all. But then since doing these hybrids, especially, honestly, the triple barber pole that I did, that was a really important cigar that I did that helped me get to know some more flavors.
Yeah.
It's more of those floral notes. You get the hay and some different spices and stuff too. Not like peppery spices, but some other spices that you wouldn't, like caraway seed. I picked that up, or anise. That's one that I started picking up at Bear cigars as well.
I get anise a lot, but I get it a lot more on a cold draw than I do anything else. But I do pick it up quite a bit when I'm reviewing.
See, I'll get it on the back of the palate.
Mm-hmm. Don't say it, Mikey. He wanted to say it, right? He just had that look in his eye.
Gentleman.
Gentleman,
right. Oh, right now, but TV show, not so much. He used his free passes for the day.
He did.
But now, I am curious about something. Now, I saw...
Okay.
Well, yeah. Curious about a lot, but over at... I watched the coverage on our site over there, and they said about with Dion. Dion did not have any cigars at IPCPR.
You just stole my question.
Now, did you hear any buzz about it? Did you hear anything from people about what they thought of that, or?
I think actually the buzz was more positive than anything. Everybody thought that was pretty cool. That he just had his booth and his table set up and no cigars, nothing that looked like cigars. I didn't hear any buzz as to why, but a lot of people liked that. They thought that was pretty cool. It was. Let me knock over my microphone.
That's all right.
But no, as far as why, I don't know. I honestly, I didn't get the chance to get over there. There was a couple of booths, you go over there and there's always people waiting in line to get there. And, he was one of them. Of course, Room 101, that's another one. And Crown Heads, that was another one. Which I did. I waited in line to go talk to John Huber for a specific reason for a good 20 minutes while he finished up some business. There's phone that orifice.
Cool.
Nice.
See, now, I stole Mike's question. I didn't try it, but I should have remembered, if Mike and Dion are in jail, Mike would be Dion's bitch no matter what. I mean,
hands down. But I may have to be Hubert's bitch now because his, in my opinion, the Headley Grange is the best cigar.
Of course,
this
that
year.
was one of the ones that had the most buzz as well, too. I mean, everybody was asking me, "Did you go by that booth? Did you get any samples? Did you get any for me?" No, dude, go get. And they sold out. Actually, Headley Grange sold out. I don't know if you saw the post on Twitter, but they sold out of their stock at the show.
Yeah, it's I
Yeah.
mean, Mike's impressed by it. I've never
For
smoked
Headley
it, but Mike's saying good things about it. So
Oh, that's a good cigar.
Yeah. That cigar. I mean, it's yeah. Everybody knows my opinion on it, so I made it clear.
Mm-hmm.
Good feedback, bad feedback from people saying there's no way you can say it's the best cigar when you haven't smoked everything. And like I tell everybody, it was the best cigar out of everything I've smoked so far. I haven't smoked everything, and if something I smoke that's new is better than that, I'll say it's better than that. But I don't know, man. It was like the Epernay. You know, the Epernay was hard for me. Every time I smoked something else, it just didn't have. It wasn't that complete all around cigar experience. And I finally got it again when I smoked that Headley Grange. And I really, I wasn't a big fan of the Four Kicks, and I think they nailed it with this one. But I'm sure there's a lot of other great cigars. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to smoking the Blanco. I'm really looking forward to smoking the La Aurora, their new one. So it'll be
Which one? They have a
interesting.
bunch.
The
Fernando,
the one
the
Mikey's smoking, the Fernando. Yeah, I'm looking forward to smoking that. But let me ask you this, Christine, while you were out on the floor and you were doing your business and walking around, what do you think was the overall opinion of, the bloggers being there? Were they in the way? Were they out of the way? Were people okay with it? I mean, from some of the coverage that I saw, it seemed like everybody was fine with them being there,
Oh, I think that there's a certain, expectation from the industry now to have these bloggers there and have them covering things. I mean, of course, it's good press for all the manufacturers for the most part. I think the only thing, as far as a blogger, the only reason I didn't do interviews at all is because everybody asks the same questions. And, I just want to go there. I want to smoke the cigars. I want to have a good time. I want to meet up with people from Twitter. To me, that's what, holds more value. It's just to be able to, see and hang out with these people and try the cigars and then come back and create buzz instead of going and, interrupting their time and asking the same questions that everybody asks. But, I mean, they know it's coming. They know it's good press. And most people, they do handle it. Actually, I say all of them. This year, I didn't hear anything negative really about anybody. They all handle it so well. They schedule times ahead of time. They'll do it before or after the show when they're not busy doing business. So, I mean, for the most part, people know now how to handle themselves because for a while there, bloggers were getting a bad rap. And, I mean, some of us still do.
now, I'm curious with IPCPR now. I've never been there myself, but you always hear these reports about some of the company's booths just being so enormous.
General.
Yeah,
Right.
I heard that was huge.
What's it like for somebody that has never been to IPCPR if they would go in and they would see this massive booth? Is it separated in by their cigars? Are there people to talk to at each place, or is it all just a big gaggle of people?
See, a lot of these people, they'll have like different tables. They have different facings for each of their cigars. Featured in each facing. Perdomo did that. Alphabet did that. General did that. They all kind of separated everything a little bit. But I actually had the opportunity this year to kind of see IPCPR through the eyes of somebody that was so new to it. The Your Cigar News guys. Man, they were like a kid in a candy store. It was a lot of fun to watch. And I remember my first year, I was just so overwhelmed, like with how big everything was. I mean, it's really overwhelming. It's, where do I start first? Then you go and, there's some booths that are so packed. Like, of course, Drew Estates. That's always the ones that you can count on being packed. Miami was pretty busy all the time. General, of course, they had a little putting green in their booth as well, but you get a lot of these. They have some kind of cool things. I know there was one year I went, Alex Bradley had a shoe shine station at theirs.
Cool.
I mean, there's people that, I mean, they just do some cool things that just make your experience, all that more fun, just to go and be able to hang out in that booth and have a cigar and talk to your rep, if you're a retailer and whatnot.
Well,
Speaking of Matt Booth, somebody stole one of his lighters at the show.
Yeah.
Did he ever get it back? Do you know? Has anybody heard it back?
No, he put out a tweet asking whoever stole it to return it, and a lot of people were retweeting it. I was there actually at that booth when he posted that tweet. He was like, everybody retweet it. So we all did, and as far as I know, he didn't get it back. But pretty quickly after that, he took all of his stuff down. He didn't have it sitting out at the show. But there was, there'd be people, they have sample boxes out.
Yep.
I saw this one lady going around to these booths, looking at the sample boxes and just taking like a handful of cigars out of there and putting them in her bag. Excuse me. And I don't know who she was with or what. I didn't get a look at her bag, but
right.
I don't think she was a blogger. I wasn't familiar with her as far as that's concerned. But I mean, you get your people that know how to act and are respectful, and then you get your people that are just crazy.
Assholes.
Right.
Come on, say it. Assholes.
Yeah. You can say it. We're not censored.
I'm not saying it. My parents might be watching.
Well, I think, is that your dad in the background looking out the window right now?
Oh, he's waving.
Could you tell him to put his pants on, please?
Ah, thank you.
It's not that
Look,
kind
she
of
even
show.
looked.
She did look too. She's like, is he
No,
really
it was
back
over there. No, I looked in the window next door because that's where he's at.
Is he really doing that?
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
Now-
Really? I'm not looking.
Now, with the booze, you said about that some of the companies do the special things, to stand out. Which booth stood out to you the most at IPCPR this year, and why?
The most, I don't know. Drew Estates always does something cool. The last couple of years, like they've had the Converse sneakers that they've had airbrushed, or the wedge sandals that they've had airbrushed. This year, they had framed tobacco leaves with chivettas that were painted to look like the different lines of their cigars, which I was fortunate enough to get one of those. That was really cool, and that's always one that, that's always a booth that people like to go to. Typically, they win Booth of the Year. I mean, I don't know. There's so many that just have, just such fun things, to go and check out and see. Miami was cool the way they had everything set up. They had bars with stools set around them with their facings behind it. So, whatever rep you were talking to would be behind there. And, that one was really neat and comfortable. Honestly, if I wanted to go rest my feet, I went to the Room 101 booth because they had the comfy chairs and a huge ottoman.
Big pimpin'.
Right?
Well, speaking of, let's step away from cigars for just a second. Were there any new accessories that came out at the show that you saw that you were excited to see, or something that somebody, us cigar smokers may be interested in checking out? Anything from Zycar or anybody?
Not so much this year. I mean, you get to a point where, what more can you do with a cutter, or what more can you do with a lighter? As long as it lights and as long as it cuts, I don't really care.
Yeah.
I just want something that's functional.
Yeah.
I don't.
No pink cutter, no pink lighter, no.
I will never own a pink cutter or a pink lighter. I don't like pink.
No bling. No bling bling. God, I can't believe I said that.
I have a bling cutter, but that was made, special.
Right.
Man.
Not a Zycar product.
Did you make it over to the Romacraft booth? Everybody's chatting that up. Says that Skiff and them guys had craft beer and rum all day long over there.
They did.
Up.
Which, I went over there and nobody offered me a beer or rum. Or
Really?
I know.
So they weren't gentlemen, it sounds, you're saying?
No.
Wow.
Boy, I love Skip. He's actually going to get the tweet up coming up this next week. So I look forward to that. I should give him a hard time. No, we went out. There was an event at World of Beer, which is actually across from Corona's. Excuse me. And I closed off my night that night, hanging out with Skip and Mike and the guys from Your Cigar News. Just drinking some beer and smoking some cigars, and every night, everything was great. It was a lot more, I guess, chill than Vegas or whatever. I went to bed earlier actually, than when I was in Vegas. But
Well, can't go to bed early in Vegas.
right, I know. I think the earliest I went to bed in Vegas was like 5 a.m.
There you go.
But we finished that night with some IHOP, and that was it. That was probably my latest night with Skip, actually. But they have he has some great cigars out that that Intemperance BA. Oh, love that cigar.
Nice.
Fantastic. And he's one of the ones that knows what he's doing. But it's great because he is learning about tobacco, and through his process, we all get to learn about tobacco.
Oh.
So, and I adore Skip. I've known him for a couple of years. He sponsored an event at the Tweet Up out this way in March. Oh, what you got now?
I was just showing
Corey?
people while you were talking the Epic.
He's showing them different cigars while you're talking.
Yep.
Oh, the Epic? Is that what that is?
Yep.
I loved that cigar. I loved it. That's one of the brands that I'm actually most impressed with. Big Bad Altadis. I know a lot of people don't have a really high opinion of Altadis, but they are recognizing. Thank you for scoffing.
I'm scoffing because your ride along buddy is going yuck.
You know what? I gave him one of those cigars, but he was also like 65 cigars in when he smoked that. So, Warrant.
Yeah, well, Monte Cristo, everybody for years and years, it's a starter cigar, it's a mild cigar, give it to a newbie, this, that, the other thing. They've really changed here of late with some of their, like the New York that they brought out, that special blend for New York, and now the Epic. I think they're noticing, like you were saying, Christine, the market has changed to the point where they're trying to stay viable to customers nowadays.
Absolutely. And they're changing everything. They're changing the branding, the blends, whatever. And I actually, one of my most recent reviews is of that Epic. I love that cigar. I got such great notes, such great complexities. That's their version. That's Altadis's version of a boutique cigar, and that's kind of what they're going for. And they're actually honestly the inspiration for the new direction that I'm kind of going with my site. I'm going to start featuring one manufacturer a month. All my reviews, all my hybrids, all my articles, everything for an entire month are going to be about one manufacturer at a time. Altadis is the first one because I see where they're going, and I see that they're recognizing the trends in the industry, and they're grabbing onto that with everything, with their branding. And the thing is, Altadis, with the Romeo, with the Epic, with the Trinidad Paradox, everything, they're doing something different. They've changed their blends, they've changed their branding, and good or bad, they're getting a response in the industry. I actually had a talk with one of the guys from Sentitos that he wasn't always a big Altadis fan, but he was out there talking smack. He was saying, oh, the Romeo, that branding is hideous. The Epic, it's hideous, because it's bold. And I'm like, you know what? You're helping them out because all press is good press. You're talking smack, there's going to be somebody out there that's going to say, okay, well, let me look up the Epic and see what's going on with that brand. And they're going to find a review, hopefully my review, and and be like, okay, you know what? That has some good tasting notes. Let me go try this out. Let me see where I can find it. So
Yeah,
you coughed there?
Yeah,
You inhaled too much there,
cough.
Corey?
See, that's what you get when you do a vampire cigar. see, that's
I gotta, yeah, that's awesome. There's so many great people at this show that I gotta meet that I've been talking on Twitter for like a year. And I love it. I love doing stuff like this. The trade shows, the tweet ups, I love them. I think they help the industry out a lot.
Yeah, I agree with you. They definitely do, no doubt. Well, let me ask you this, Christine. You at IPCPR, you got to meet a lot of new bloggers, or a lot of bloggers that have been around for a while that you probably didn't meet in the past. Who were some of the guys or gals you were happy that you got to finally meet?
Well, I finally got to meet Brian Hewitt. He is one of the ones I was glad. I mean, Most of them were
God.
people. Oh, Gary
no.
Griffith. Finally got to meet
No,
Gary
do
Griffith.
not say you were happy to meet Brian Hewitt. No, never, ever say you were happy.
Well, I had given him actually a little bit of crap on Twitter a while back, so I was glad that I could meet him in person and, once. It's, putting these faces to the Twitter banter, because it's, everybody acts a certain way on Twitter, and then when you meet them face to face, most people are just chill and laid back and friendly, whereas Twitter, everybody gets a little bit of courage and throws out some stuff that they wouldn't normally when you meet them in person.
No comment. What about GC Puffs?
I gotta meet. Oh my god!
And Mrs. Puff.
I gotta meet GC and Cammy, which unfortunately can't. I was talking to GC lately. I guess Cammy, she broke one of her ribs recently. She took a spill and broke a rib, unfortunately. But I got to finally meet both of them, which I was so glad.
Nice.
I got to see GC's face instead of just like his beard and his mustache with a cigar.
What other cigars did we not touch base on that you may want somebody to know? And also, guys and girls in the chat rooms, everyone in the chat room, you can go over to Christine's site, and she has just put up a post recently of her top 10 cigars, not in no specific order, right, Christine?
That's right.
No specific order of what she enjoyed. So make sure you go over there and give her love as well. And so tell us, what other cigars we might have missed that our fans and everybody out there who's smoking may want to go out and try?
One actually that had a lot of buzz at the show was Epicurean, which that's Steven Estadron, which used to be with Savinelli. Now, since then, since he's no longer with Savinelli, he's gone and created his own blends, which is this one right now, I don't know, Gonzo. And he has the AG Azul. I smoked in one of the Azuls at the show, and I was really impressed with that cigar. Obviously, I haven't smoked the Gonzo yet. I told Steven I'd post a review of it, but Steven, he knows tobacco better than anybody that I know in the industry, and he is so passionate about it. And I mean, I wish nothing but the best for him. This guy knows what he's talking about, and I mean, he knows his blends, he knows his tobacco. Pretty much anything of his that I've smoked, I've absolutely loved, for one reason or another, whether it's a milder cigar, medium cigar, a fuller bodied cigar. I had the chance about a year ago to sit down and talk to him, and got his passion for the industry and his passion for cigars and tobacco and the whole blending process is just out of this world. He's going to be at the Tweet Up as well, showcasing some of his blends too. So if you're going to the Tweet Up in Chattanooga, that's going to be a good opportunity for you to get to meet him and talk to him about his blends. And I've always been impressed with stuff like that with him. That was another one that created a little bit of buzz as well.
Now,
everybody was asking for the Gonzo.
We've heard a lot about the new cigars that have come out. What have you heard or seen about a lot? There were a lot of line extensions also announced at IPCPR. Have any of those stood out to you that you think a cigar in a different size is going to do better? Or
I don't know. Like, there's a new one from the Mi Amor. They have another one. The Perdomo Grand Cru, they extended their line, which that one I had. It's the Grand Cru. It's a 2006 tobacco, and they have a double Maduro and a Sun-Grown, which I've smoked the Sun-Grown. That's a fantastic cigar. I've always been a really big fan of the Grand Cru, especially for the price point. That's always been a really good price point with some really great flavors and complexities. That's one that stood out to me. I mean, that's one that I thought out myself because I love the Grand Cru. But I didn't get the chance to smoke the Mi Amor yet, but that's another one of those size extensions that, that'll be interesting to see in a bigger ring gauge. I'm a fan of the Mi Amor as well.
Now, did you notice that at IPCPR? Is everybody going? I mean, the craze right now in the United States seems to be bigger. Yeah, there's
right. Like the EP Carrillo has the edge.
There's so much to say about that, but
Victor's got a new one coming out, 6x66, 666.
Yeah, EP Carrillo has the inch. I've heard some good buzz about that one. That's another one I haven't smoked yet because I haven't been able to taste anything for 2 weeks. But I have like this pile of new cigars that are just waiting for me to smoke when I can taste again.
I heard Mike has an inch too.
What's up?
And
You're so funny, Quiff. So, well, we talked, Christine, about. I'm going to put you on the spot with this one because I believe everybody should be honest, and not everybody likes everything. But you told us what cigars impressed you. Was there a cigar that didn't impress you? And why? Because we always want to give them an explanation why.
Oh, God. And honestly, some of them, I don't know. It may have just been my palate, and there's some that I want to revisit because I'd smoked 73 cigars.
Yeah.
Like the El Suelo. That was one of the ones that didn't really do much for my palate.
Mm-hmm.
At the time when I smoked it, I actually tried that on my way back from IPCPR, and I really wasn't impressed.
Yeah.
There was another one, and I can't off the top of my head think of what it was, but I almost threw it out the window on the drive home, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
I've totally like blocked it from my
from your memory.
my memory. Yeah. Because I mean, a lot of this stuff, like I said, I smoked 73 cigars and not a lot of sleep, not a lot of time to refresh my palate.
Yep.
And sometimes it doesn't matter what you do. You can't refresh your palate or your sinuses.
Yep.
So, there's some of them that I need to give another shot on a fresh palate when I can taste
Yep.
and smell again. But that El Suelo was one of them.
Okay. Well, listen, for some people that may have tuned in late because we are getting near the Bewitching Hour, you mentioned some new information earlier about what you're going to be doing with your site as well as a new adventure you took on with Cigar News. So why don't you tell everybody about your new adventure and also tell everybody about what you're doing different over at your site so everybody's up to date and they can go over and keep track of you.
Well, the big news is I've joined on with yourcigarnews.com. And after spending some time with those fellows for a couple of days, I just loved everything that they were about. They're all about connecting the industry. And, because you have this gap between consumers and retailers and manufacturers. And that's what it's all about. Bridging the gap between all of that and making the relationship between all of that a little tighter. Especially with everything that's going on. I mean, our government is basically trying to tax us out of existence. And it's all about us coming together and fighting against that. And, I mean, your Cigar News isn't so much about the fight. It's more about the camaraderie that, cigar smokers have. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're Jonathan Drew or you're Barry Stein or or me, the lovely lady of the stick, or Mike Williams or Mike Flory. We get together, we all have something in common, and that's cigars. We all come from different walks of life, different faiths, different political backgrounds, but we get us together, we have one thing in common, and that's cigars, and that gives us all something to look forward to. And honestly, that was some of the biggest topics of conversation during the trade show, which, I always leave these things completely in awe at the craziness of it and the camaraderie. I mean, I was at it was the Jonathan Drew event that they had at Coronas in the tent outside the shop one night, and Jonathan Drew was up there talking, and, Rocky Patel walked in. He walked right up to the stage, took the mic from Jonathan Drew, and was talking up JD. Lito Gomez came in and did the same thing. It doesn't even matter. Like, during the day, you might see him as competition. But at the end of the day, we're all cigar smokers. We're all here to help each other out and support each other. But as far as my site is concerned, I'm trying to take a different direction. I've had my site up for a year. And it's been a lot of fun. It's been fantastic with the hybrids and, just the articles and the places I've gotten to go and the people that I've gotten to meet. I kind of wanted to, turn it around after all of that and take a different direction. So I'm going to start focusing on one manufacturer a month. September is going to be Altadis, and especially with all the great things that they've been doing with their blending and their branding and the direction that they've been taking. I mean, they're a huge company and they get a bad rap, but they've come up with some great things. They're really trying to get a foothold in the industry, a more credible foothold as far as their blending of their cigars is concerned. Excuse me.
Cough up a lung.
I know, right? It's ridiculous. I probably shouldn't even be smoking right now, but you know, and that's gonna be my first month. Then Room 101, and then Tarano, and then I'm gonna start doing some smaller blends, and everything that I release is gonna have to do with that company. My hybrids, my articles, my reports on reps, my reports on women in the industry is all gonna come, you know, from within house, within that. I mean, I really think that it could be something that's beneficial to give the consumer or my fans, and it's also along the lines of what your Cigar News wants to do, a 360 view of what goes on in the industry. You know, from the perspective of reps, from the perspective of the manufacturers, from the perspective of the women that work in the office, or the women that are reps out there, because everybody experiences everything a little differently. And I know I have. Just being a woman in the industry, it's, you know, it's different than if my experience with IPCPR is obviously going to be different from what you guys might experience.
Right.
Just because I'm a woman.
Right.
Good.
And I talk my cigar out.
That's probably a good thing because your lungs about to come up if you keep
I
smoking,
know.
probably.
No, I'm telling you, I need more beer.
So everybody's talking about the Tarano Master Maduro. Did you get to smoke that one? We didn't mention anything about Tarano.
No, but I have the that one and the new one, the Solutum, to try again. That's another one that I'm gonna wait until I can taste again to smoke, so I can give it a fair review. Who knows? I might do it on Mike Stogies.
You might every Friday. There's a little plug. Ting ting. I haven't heard you say anything about Tatuaje. Was there anything new from
Just the La
Tatuaje?
Dueña.
Did you try?
She said about the La Dueña.
Oh, she did? Okay. See, I was
And that's a collaboration with Jenny Garcia, you know, another woman of the leaf that can get out there and do some great things for other women. And excuse me, I'm gonna die over here. I'm gonna die live.
That's all right. If you're live, we could call 911.
That's all right. And our ratings would go up.
It would too.
Because I died.
If we have death on the show, I guarantee our ratings go up.
So would my site views. Be like, oh my god, what's her last her last article that she ever
We'll call
wrote?
it My Fair Ladies.
My Fair.
My
It's
Fair
the
Lady.
lovely lady of the stick.
Oh man.
Oh crap. Well, Mikey, you got anything else? I mean, we're at our hour here, and anybody got any more questions in the chat room you want us to ask Christine before she takes off? And make sure, as I said before, you go over and show her love at her website, Lovely Lady of the Stick.
And Mike Stogie.
And Mike Stogie's on every Friday, as she is continuing to help us out over there and doing a great job. And we wish you luck over at the Cigar News. We wish them luck as well. But I have nothing else. Oh wait, LD. So who had the hottest chicks at the trade show? He wants to know.
Oh my god. You know, it's funny.
That's a typical male question, right?
Thank you, Lauren. Every year you get the little booth babes. Just put a nice ring on it. There was oh god, well I can't even remember. That had hookahs. They had these girls in these little glass boxes sitting there in bikinis smoking hookahs. And I saw one girl get out of her little box and look like she was gonna be sick.
She probably was. Probably the first time she smoked one.
Right? It's sitting there smoking. I mean, it's a thinner smoke. It's a lighter smoke, more flavorful. But if you're not used to it, whatever.
Yeah. All right, well, Christine, anything that we missed that maybe you want to mention before we let you go about hacking up a lung?
I know. God, I need to do a sinus rinse and get all this crap out.
There you go.
No, I don't. You know, honestly, there was so much good stuff out of the trade show. I just really encourage everybody to go out there and give it a fair shot. Some of the highlights for me, of course, honestly, Miami had the most cigars coming out that I personally enjoyed that I smoked at the show. The Fernando Leon, the new Nestor has that new special select out. The Grand Reserve 2012. Excuse me. With that one, I came across by chance, and Lawrence knows the story. We were actually getting ready to leave the show, and we ran into Nestor in the parking lot. Lawrence asked Nestor what he was smoking, and he had one of these Grand Reserve 2012s in his hand. And he goes to his vehicle, his Range Rover, and grabs one for both me and Lawrence to try. And that was another one that I actually posted in my top 10.
That's a nice story.
Got there. I know, it was so great. Dude, I think I need to stop.
Man, well, good thing we're at the end here. I'm telling you.
Right?
Okay. So, well, Mike, you have anything you want to say? Because if not, we are going to let her go about her business. We're going to go about our business and say thanks to everybody. And thank you, Christine, once again, for making our show a little more classy than normal.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for being here, and I think we covered IPCPR as a, in a general sense. We wanted to get a general idea of what was going on for a lot of people who aren't able to go there and see it in person.
Oh yeah.
Right.
It's a good time. If you can go get it. Go get around, go party, go have fun, smoke some good sticks.
Go party, go smoke, and you might cough up a lung the next week.
There you go. If you smoke 73 cigars.
2 weeks. Yeah, sorry, 2 weeks.
You're right.
Oh, wait. Actually, we almost did forget. Thanks, Foozer. We didn't ask the deathbed question. All right, Christine, we're going to ask you the deathbed question. You obviously know what it is. You've been one of those people who have supported us and been in our chat room. And you're on your deathbed. What's the last cigar you could smoke?
The biggest one I could find, probably.
Well, which one?
I don't know, maybe
size
a
matters,
digger. A digger. No, because I want to extend my life a little more.
Oh, okay.
And you know what? I promise you I'm going to smoke it as slow as possible.
So
maybe like a digger or a Fuente Quinones.
Okay, nice.
Then I'll rewrap, of course.
All right.
All right. Well, Christine, thanks so much, dear, for being on the show again. We really appreciate it. We appreciate you helping us out at, getting all the information for us for IPCPR. It was very nice of you to do that for us. And remember, check her out at The Lovely Lady of the Stick and also at MikeStogies.com and soon on the CigarNews.com. So, all right, dear. Well, we thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Have a great day.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All righty. Mike and I are here now. Doing the...
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. The sexy ones. I said
What's
the
that?
sexy ones. We're here.
The sexy
I
one.
was hoping, with Christine, didn't want to get into a whole lot of detail because, like she said, she wasn't there to, actually report on it for a blog or anything else, but in a more general sense for people to see what was going on, hear what was going on.
Yep. Get her take on what she thought of it, and so it was good. I hope you guys got something out of it. I know there's been everybody's been putting up stuff about it, but we just wanted to do a little something different that you won't see, and we hope you enjoyed it. We appreciate you tuning in. As always, it's very appreciated. And our next show, to give you an insight, we're actually going back to a Thursday night show because we have to. Our next show is September 6th at 7 p.m., and we will have Rocky Patel on the show. Again, that's September 6th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Rocky Patel. We won't be back until then. We're getting a little time off, which is nice. So hope you guys can tune in, and girls. And that's all I got, buddy.
Yeah,
so,
and
I guess that's it.
And it might be interesting, that show, because I'm actually going to be on vacation. So,
yes, I'm actually running the show that day, so we'll see what happens.
Hopefully I'll be here. If I'm not here, hopefully either Mike will have to do it himself, or maybe Matt will be around to fill in for me. But
either way, the show will go on. We'll be live September 6th, no matter what.
You'll probably get more viewers.
Again, thanks.
Me being here, they'll be like flocking in.
Long
hair bastard.
Rocky and I are just going to sit back and We're just going to tell jokes for an hour,
There you
Rocky
go.
and I.
There you go.
That's it. It's going to be a comedy show. So, all right, everybody. Well, thanks again. Appreciate it. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks for taking time out. And we'll see you all on September 6th. So,
See you later.